لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك. محمد نبينا بنور هدينا محمد.
It's meal time, and Nigerian pilgrims are having a feel of Saudi cuisine as part of the feeding arrangements put in place by NAHCON for the pilgrims during their stay in the Holy Land. Most of them are excited about the arrangements and talk about their experiences.
And the food also has been nice. They've been giving us even desserts along with the food, and we've been enjoying ourselves so far.
And they take care of us very well. They give us food and everything. Thank you for everybody.
They normally give us 2 square meal, breakfast and dinner. So, and actually the foods are okay.
The feeding of Nigerian pilgrims while in Saudi Arabia was top on the agenda during talks between NAHCON officials and Saudi service providers. The occasion was a pre-Hajj visit by Nigerian officials to inspect catering facilities preparatory to the commencement of the 2018 Hajj. The visit and its outcome paved the way for the signing of contracts with food contractors that met NAHCON criteria towards providing food for Nigerian pilgrims. In furtherance of this, NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar Mohammed inaugurated the feeding committee headed by its Commissioner of Policy, Personnel Management and Finance, Dr. Yusuf Adebayo. Members of the committee for the 2018 Hajj were carefully selected from NAHCON staff and had the following terms of reference: to ensure compliance with contract agreements, to ensure timely delivery of food, to guarantee the quality and quantity of the meals being served to pilgrims, to make appropriate reconciliation of transactions made with caterers. Others were being watchful over the hygienic condition of the kitchens as well as to identify challenges and solve them.
We are still not where we want to reach in terms of perfection of the feeding system. I believe the significant improvement recorded last year and a year before can be improved upon so that the pilgrims enjoy quality and hygienic meal delivered to them at the time of their need and delivered to them as agreed in the contract between the states and the caterers, or between the commission and the caterers, as the case may be, whether in Mecca or Medina or in Mashair.
The committee members were given a clear mandate on how to relate with the caterers engaged by NAHCON.
More importantly, it's our responsibility to make sure that Nigerian pilgrims are not shortchanged in any way in this feeding process. The pilgrims are not opportune to be part of the negotiation team or to negotiate directly with the caterers on the menu, on the price, on the other conditions contained in the agreement. the Commission and the states in trust, we do that on their behalf. That burden of trust, we are going to account for it before Almighty Allah on the Day of Judgment. And we have to do everything humanly possible to make sure that we don't compromise in any way.
You need to summarize.
The Medina coordinator for the 2018 Hajj, Suleiman Usman, and the committee chairman, Dr. Yusuf Adebayo, stressed the importance of planning and commitment by members.
In the light of the available records, come up with weights and measures. Don't just say dinner, tuwo, mia. What quantity of tuwo, what weight of tuwo, what quantity of mia, what volume of nama. Weights and measures, you need to bring them out so that you can be able to quantify and know, yes, he has given the right thing or the wrong thing, but be conscious of the meager amount for each plate. Let it be fair to the contractors and fair to the pilgrims also.
Planning has to start from home before you get to Saudi Arabia. I want to promise the chairman that with the experience that we have gotten on this assignment and the new hands you have introduced now, being desk officers, I'm quite convinced that there's going to be institutional memory on this assignment. And I want to promise you that the staff also will make sure they do not disappoint you, because previously it is casual workers that do the job. Now it's a permanent staff of Hajj Commission. So you have no reason to fail.
Whom you have attached to the kitchen, his responsibility is that he is the officer in charge of the kitchen, because Baladia need to give them a certificate certifying them to prepare food for.
Towards having effective plans on feeding exercise, NAHCON organized a one-day workshop for members of the national and state committees on feeding. This was to acquaint members with the processes and procedures of the feeding arrangements. The training session, which held at NAHCON headquarters Abuja, was led by a veteran in Hajj Affairs and chairman, Center for Collaborative Research and Creative Exchange, Sheikh Muhammad Magharifi.
So you can have the right food by the right person, the right quantity and quality, but at the wrong time. Who have you designated to collect the food from the caterer? In which accommodation? Is it one person that will collect, follow the van, drop in this house, or in each house there is somebody dedicated? His job is to wait for the van to come. Welcome, drop it, let's count, let's look at, let's check this, check quantity, check quality, check number, take away, and sign for him. Who does that? Some of your pilgrims, some for one reason or the other, visa issue, some death, some sick in the hospital, they didn't go to Medina, from Jeddah airport they went straight to hospital. So you must make sure you are writing the exact number. If you don't do that, you have forfeited that one. And do you know who's going to be paid that money? It's not NAHCON, it's caterer. It's not NAHCON, caterer will take the money.
Being an interactive session, participants made comments, observations, and also asked questions.
Ad hoc staff by NAHCON.
Okay.
In the exercise.
It's an issue?
Yes, it is. In Medina, most of those handling this issue, apart from very few staff of NAHCON, you have the engaged ad hoc staffs, and this creates a lot of gap.
So engagement of ad hoc staff has been an issue.
At the end of the workshop, the lecturer and the representative of NAHCON chairman at the event shed more light on the outing.
It is aimed at improving the knowledge and skills of the officials at the national and state level, improve their capacity on how to handle the exercise. It's important at this point to understand that the exercise entails getting states to identify caterers from the list of the recognized and accredited caterers of by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, for them to feed their pilgrims in Mecca and Mashair. Mashair is Muna and Arfat.
With a view to harmonizing the activities of the NAHCON and state feeding committees so as to ensure synergy is developed between the two committees, all with a view to serving the pilgrims better, particularly to give the pilgrims value for money in the food to be provided to them in the Holy Land, be it in the form of the quality, in the form of the quantity, and other related issues to do with the food.
The 2018 Hajj feeding arrangements were implemented based on these plans put in place by NAHCON. In Medina, the feeding arrangements ensures that pilgrims are served with balanced diets. This entails giving them 2 meals daily, breakfast and dinner. Pilgrims were not only served food, but also given fruits, juice and bottled water. Members of the feeding committee and the Medina coordinator, Ahmed Megari, were also on ground to maintain orderliness during distribution and to ensure that the caterers did not do anything contrary to the agreement. Going by its terms of reference, which include guaranteeing timely delivery of the meals, ensuring quantity as well as quality among other things, members of the NAHCON feeding committee in Medina made it a daily routine to visit the eateries to monitor the process of preparation. Al-Andalus Kitchen is the company that NAHCON engaged to serve pilgrims with food in Medina.
May 2019.
Bashir Jazuli talked about the routine checks of the kitchen.
We have a timetable. People come here daily to inspect what they are doing to ensure that it meets the standards set by the Commission. The quality of the meal, the quantity is not a kind of compromised.
In the course of the inspection, the committee took into consideration the issue of hygiene and the expiry date of the foodstuff.
Some of the checklists, one, the sanity of the place, the hygiene of the area, which you have all testified that it has met every set standard. They have the gloves, they have their kits, they wear apron, and the environment is neat and tidy. In addition, we check the products from the store, cooking items or anything that will maybe endanger the health of the pilgrims. All the hotels at 6 a.m., that's after Fajr, as the pilgrims are coming back to their accommodation from the masjid, from the haram, they make the breakfast intact. And dinner, Maghrib is prayed 8:45. We ensure that the meal, that's dinner, reaches the hotel at least an hour before Isha, so that when the pilgrims are returning back to their accommodation, they'll make their dinner ready.
What we do is that we already know the numbers. We have the figures and we know the numbers of every pilgrim in each local government. So we do our distribution based on the figures that we have in paper. And that way we have not failed. They all get their food and they are happy.
Pilgrims bear their minds on the feeding arrangements, saying it is to their satisfactions.
The standard of food that is given is excellent. In fact, many people have already commented that there is no Hajj group all over around that are getting this kind of feeding.
We are given a very qualitative food based on the standard. Really, things are very, very okay. Alhamdulillah.
All the food given to us is very rich. They treat us well, even more than the one we expect that we are going to meet here. Everything is well prepared and delicious as well, rich to human taste.
Others advised on having more Nigerian dishes.
Give us something that is traditional, more than saying that okay, potato chips and what have you for breakfast. And no, we are all Yoruba people. We are traditional people, so the dishes are traditional food.
They should introduce what we call amala for people that understand Yoruba, and they should also try to something like eba for people that also would like to eat eba. So, mashallah, alhamdulillah, for the feeding also.
In Mecca, where the states are responsible for the feeding of pilgrims, members of the feeding committee were actively involved in all the processes to ensure that pilgrims get value for their money.
We made sure the test is equivalent to the geopolitical zone the pilgrim came from, even from Nigeria. Not only that, there are also add-ons. We made sure that in the morning you add yogurt, you add some fruits, you also add water. We quantified it 60 liters, 60 centiliters.
Added to this, NAHCON officials led by its chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar Mohammed and head of feeding committee Dr. Yusuf Adebayo took time to inspect kitchens for further assessment of services. The commission carried out this responsibility in all the kitchens, including those at Mashair. In the course of the inspections, NAHCON carefully took note of compliance with contract terms or otherwise. Where it observed that pilgrims were being shortchanged, NAHCON took the necessary actions.
This is the measurement I'll give to you. Tell me. This is the measurement I'll give to you. This is the measurement Oh, you know I'm cooking. No dinner. No to pay you for that. It's stew for bread. Is it not for bread? Breakfast.
One and I've been to breakfast.
The bread
da laban nono
yanzu wannan miya ne da nama za a ba da biredi shine ake cewa in kuna son miyan ta yi daɗi da ya kamata a ce da miyan da naman an dafa su tare ne
haka kuke so
a dama haka ne ya bi jama'a ba haka kuke so.
Key policies NAHCON implemented during the 2018 Hajj with regard to feeding were those of getting the companies contracted to have Nigerian dishes or something similar to it in their menu. It also encouraged the companies to engage the services of Nigerians living in Saudi Arabia legally. Ahmed Mohammed, Yusuf Haruna and Shuaibu Mohammed are 3 out of the 8 Nigerians employed by Al-Andalus Kitchen through the policy. They spoke about the different types of Nigerian local foods provided by the company and its quality. They as well appreciated Nigerian government for considering them in its programs.
Kaga ana musu shinkafa jollof, shinkafa da wake, shinkafa da miya, zuwa tuwon shinkafa, zuwa tuwon saman bita, miyar taushe, zuwa miyar kubewa danya.
Ko wanda ku gani yanzu gashi ana yi muke dafawa shine wanda muka dafa yanzu ko ana kullewa a saka cikin wannan kayakin in zo lokacin ta yi sai a kai musu kayan su in shin cika.
Gwamnatin Najeriya daga shugaba Muhammad Buhari zuwa mataimakan shi da zuwa masha Allah mutanen da suke Rusiliya da yake safara ne ga irin roku ga wanda masu jagoranci alhazai muna taimako muna roƙon Allah ya musu jagora kuma Allah ya taimaka musu jami'an.
In addition to this, NAHCON is asking the caterers serving Nigerian pilgrims to start importing foodstuff from Nigeria, as doing so will help in providing food to the taste of Nigerian pilgrims.
What we hope to see in future is that the food stuff and the ingredient used, let it be substantially imported from Nigeria so as to give Nigerian businessmen, especially in the agric sector, opportunity to export their products for the purpose of Hajj for Nigerian pilgrims, which will be a win-win situation for both parties.
Once we have a firm commitment by the service provider, that means the kitchens, can help them if, for example, the government of Saudi Arabia said they have to pay taxes or whatever, then here will come and say, no, since we are bringing our own food for our own pilgrims, there should be no tax. So now the thing is, once we have firm commitment from the service providers, we'll assist them in bringing in the food items, inshallah.
Service providers welcome the idea, reiterating in interviews that once all regulatory processes set by Nigeria and Saudi Arabian governments are met, they will not hesitate to take advantage of the opportunity.
والله شوف هو دحين حتى يعني هذا التنسيق يكون يعني عن طريق وزارة الحج، لأنه هذه التوابل والبهارات النيجيرية وده احنا ممكن تسهل علينا كثير، لأنه هذا حيجي للمذاق النيجيري. يعني الأكل التوابل البهارات هذا يعني لو في الإمكان إنها تيجي احنا ما عندنا استعداد إن نستقبل يعني ما عندنا أي مشكلة. إذا توفر لنا البعثة بالعكس احنا حيصير المذاق نيجيري، إن كان من التوابل إن كان من البهارات إن كان من ده، بس أهم شيء إنها تكون تطابق على نظام البلدية، نظام ده، لأنه هذا الشيء راح يشوفوه البلدية، راح تشوفوا الجهات الحكومية اللي مسؤولة، هذا احنا ما عندنا أي مشكلة.
الاهتمام الأول هو الأول في كل شيء، ونحمد الله ونشكر إن الله أعاننا على خدمة هذا الحج، واستمرينا مع نيجيريا لأن نيجيريا طلبت طلبات والحمد لله أمناها. البهارات الخاصة بهم تأتي من نيجيريا سنويا، والطباخين يعني الأيدي العاملة معتمدين على 100% نيجيريين بخصوص الطبخ والطهي، وهذا هم ما يريدونه. جماعة يريدون أن يأكلوا أكلهم. احنا في المملكة العربية السعودية هدفنا إرضاء الحاج. ماذا تريد؟ خذ.
Preparations for 2019 Hajj are underway. NAHCON's plan for the year is to deploy the use of ICT to monitor feeding activities. NAHCON chairman disclosed this at a meeting with service providers at the Commission's headquarters in Mecca before the conclusion of the 2018 Hajj.
By next year, we'll use technology in monitoring the issue of feeding. Just as I said earlier on, it will help us in so many ways. We realize that the kitchens in Mecca are just too many. For example, this year we have 11 kitchens. Posting staff to the kitchen and then having staff in pilgrims' accommodation to be filling all those things is a lot of work. So in the kitchen, the process of preparing the food is being noted and recorded, and everybody will see it online. The quality of the food will be tested by the officer and everybody will see it online. As they leave the kitchen, the quantity and the time of departure, everybody will see it online. So by the time they reach the pilgrim's accommodation, the officer there who will also log in to say they have come, he has collected this number, everybody will see it online.